Okay, hold up. Wait, let's go. So for the people that are tuning in, this is how can I say? This is another week, Frugal Fundamentals, every Wednesday. Virtual workshops to help athletes. What's good, my guy? We're back to him. Yo, I got to get you on the podcast at some point. I'm going to have to link with you ASAP. No, Rocky. Congrats on the season so far. 4-1. Or 5-1. Which one is it? But, so Frugal Fundamentals. I've been telling athletes time and time again, I think products is the way to go. As you can see earlier today, Tom Brady announced a partnership with Fanatics. Obviously, not everyone's going to have the partnership opportunities like Tom Brady to do a Fanatics deal. But the essence of having a product and giving you that ability to sell is really important. Sorry, this new Instagram is like weird, so I gotta get used to it. What's up? I just talked to Dan earlier today. Perfect. So I'm just gonna talk about the importance of not only athletes having a product. I know we talked about it a couple weeks back on the Frugal Fundamentals, but specifically a book. I think it's something every athlete can do. Whether they feel like they're a good writer or not, having a book can lead to so many different opportunities. It's something that lasts forever. So just definitely want to talk about that. If you're new here, Frugal Fundamentals, our virtual workshop series. Usually we do them either Zoom or IG Live, whether with the guest or without a guest. Just trying to give athletes some tools to have success, not only on the field but off the field as well. Help them, as our motto is, help athletes make money, multiply money, and manage money. So with this workshop today, we're going to talk about the 17 ways athletes can make money by making a book. And like I said earlier, the book doesn't have to be like an autobiography or a biography. It literally could be about anything. So say I have like a unique story about how I made it pro. The book could be about that. If it's like a unique story about how I changed my diet to like play longer and avoid injury, it could be about that. It could be about like the coaches in your life. It could be about your parents helping you make it to that level. A lot of athletes have done like personal finance books. There's so many different avenues. It doesn't have to be like a one size fits all when it comes to making a book. And I think people need to understand that. Like if you go to Barnes & Nobles or Amazon, you just type in sports, you're going to see a bunch of different books. If you type in, fiction, nonfiction, crime, there's so many different books. So don't feel dissuaded by, everyone else already has a book. How are they going to choose mine? There's a book and there's an audience for everyone. So that's first and foremost. So let's go through this list. First and foremost, shout out to Jonathan Van Horn with the Shift program. He's the one that told me about this. He was like, because we were talking and it was like, one of my next goals is I want to write a book. He was like, oh, that's a great idea. He's been thinking about writing a book. He's actually in the process of writing a book, closing a book pretty soon. And he was talking about the 17 ways to make money from a book. And I was like, huh? So he immediately put me in touch with somebody and want to go through this list. So right off the bat, you have a book. Everyone thinks, just a regular book, hard copy, but there's 4 ways in how you can sell a book. So you got the audiobook version, you got the ebook version, you got the hardcover, you got the soft cover. So right now I'm reading this book, it's a soft cover. But let's see if I have another book around here close by. 1 second. What up? 1 second. Let me see a hardcover book. Hardcover. Okay. Perfect. So soft cover, hard cover. So you can tell the difference. Some people like that physical copy. Some people like to play around with it in a soft cover. Some people like audiobooks so they can work out while they consume your content. So with that being said, there's a strategy for everyone, and then there's also a unique format called the EPUB. So It's an ebook file format with an extension, so it can be downloaded. So if people want to read it like on their smartphone or computer or tablet, that's a unique opportunity as well. So there's 4 different ways to like have your book out there for the masses, and then you go from there. So that's 4 ways. From there, your book, you can have a mastermind group. So I'm currently reading Seth Godin's This Is Marketing book, and through the help of some connections, he's like hosting a mastermind group. So it's a unique opportunity to, to have a mastermind around like what your book covers, like getting kind of into a deep dive of like some points that you wanted to make. And this is for your engaged community. So say, for example, I wrote a book about the 10 steps on how to become a professional athlete. And then from there, I wanted to make a mastermind about how to become a professional athlete based on my 10 steps. A mastermind, I can charge however much I want to charge. Obviously, I'd have to provide the correct amount of value that makes it worth it. But you can have a mastermind around the book that you made. So obviously, when you read a book, you have so many questions. You want to know like what the author was thinking, what's the context of how he's writing this. So with the mastermind, if you're the author or athlete, author, whoever, you can answer questions. You can kind of like enhance and expand on some of the ideas that you had in your book. So next step. So we talked about mastermind. Self-study online programs. So essentially, I would say like this is kind of similar to like a course. So for example, you have the 10 steps to become a professional athlete. So now you break it into like chapters. Now you make it an online program. Obviously, within the chapters, you want to have some takeaways and some like action items. So they're not just like reading the book in another format. This is really cool because it's almost like you're teaching a lecture or class, just by using your book to do it. So it's a unique way that a lot of authors are doing now. Next one, live coaching programs. So there's so many different platforms now, Webinar Jam, Zoom, Google Meets, all these different platforms, Skype, Microsoft Teams. You can literally do live coaching programs where you have your book, whether you have people that have already read your book or that are interested in reading your book. You can do like live coaching based on the principles that you taught in your book. So basically, you kind of go through some of your book, different points, different principles that you like kind of want to drive home, and you make it into a coaching call. From the webinars and the group sessions, you can charge similar to a mastermind, similar to an online program, however much you want. And then depending on who comes in, you coach them up. The next way to make money is having a certification program. And this is unique. Good to give a shout out to my guy, Jedediah Collins. So he has a book, he has a course, Your Money Vehicle. So now he's built out a system where he can, if you read the book and if you do a certain amount of time within his practice or his teachings, you become a Your Money Vehicle certified coach or certified instructor. So if I were to make a book about the 10 steps on how to become a professional soccer player or professional athlete, I can create a certified program and have different application process. So for example, if I wanted to make my certified program for anyone, I can make it strictly like you have to be a student athlete, you have to be a professional athlete, you have to be one of these different things. You have to read the book, you have to teach a certain amount of hours. Basically how every other certification goes, you can make it similar to that. And then now I can have, you're an Okugo trained certified coach. And then now you can charge for that. And it gives the person or the member that did that program kind of like an expert tag, like almost like a degree in order to teach others your principles and guidelines. So another way, paid webinars. Similar to like online live coaching, a paid webinar is where you can like run a live or pre-recorded session and charge a fee for it. It's like very, very similar to a live coaching session. So I don't want to get too much into it, but that's kind of similar to how it goes. Another way, paid conference calls. So you don't have to be like in front of a camera to do the conference calls. It's basically everyone on the phone. And it's kind of similar. So just another unique way to monetize based on having a book. Okay. And then this is obviously one of the more popular methods. Obviously a little bit different now with COVID, but post-COVID, pre-COVID, hopefully, if everyone stays healthy. But keynote speaking. So a lot of, some of the best authors, or I don't want to say the best authors, but authors that have been recognized for their books have been, thank you so much. Some authors that have been recognized for their books, get speaking engagements. So if you want to be a keynote speaker for, a number of topics, usually it's going to be around your book, whether how you started a book, what was the inspiration, the contents of your book, one key point that kind of drives home everything. So like, for example, Simon Sinek is like your why ladder. That's like his keynote speaks. They're mostly all about his why ladder. If you talk about Gary Keller, the one thing, it's like the one thing circle. So if you have like a certain principle from your book, usually people will reach out to you to do speaking engagements. So it's an easy way. I don't want to say easy way because you have to be a pretty good public speaker, but it's another way for you to make money off your book. Okay, so live seminars. So this is similar to what we're doing now. We're doing a live seminar via IG Live. You can do that via your book. This is more casual in the sense of like it's not structured. You're not following a PowerPoint. You're not doing all this. We're kind of free flowing, not in the sense of like we're not prepared, but we're free flowing and having it more kind of engaging. So you can like comment, you can ask questions. It's like more free, and it's meant to build a more intimate setting, so people could be more engaged or be more willing to ask questions. So conference. So with the book, now you have like a standalone pillar. What up, Ma? I'll call you after this. So with the conference, you have with the book, you have a standalone pillar. That's like your base of the pyramid. And obviously we're naming out different things that you can stack on top of this. One thing that's also standalone is a conference. And obviously you can make a conference around your book, where, people will come together, talk about what they got out of your book, how it helped them, how it shaped them, things that they want to learn from you, the author, the expert in the space. And you can build a whole conference around that, bring out guest speakers, bring out people that inspired you for the creation of the book, bring out people that, can help others with their own book. And that's really community based. People love to be in a community setting. That's why people are, I don't want to say breaking the rules, but are out and about right now, because that sense of community is what gets people going. So conference, I would recommend that highly. Okay. Another way, workshop immersion. This one was unique when I was looking over it because, how do you get people, like, what's the difference between a workshop immersion and a conference? Where workshop immersion is, where as a conference is more like, it's like every year, like CES, every year, January, they're going to go to CES. Whereas workshop immersion can kind of be like a pop-up in a sense where, next month I feel like just doing a workshop immersion with UCLA, or I want to do a workshop immersion with University of Texas. And that's a way to kind of have like a pop-up shop and do like a mini conference of sorts where you can, give the contents of your book, share the principles that you're trying to come across or get across, and then go from there. Okay, so this one is easy. When you write a book, when you tell your story, when you show people the way, everyone wants to know like how you got it done. So from that, as an athlete, specifically as an author too, you can create a consulting arm about, how you made your book, like the process of that. And not only that, but how you made it to where you have, or how you applied the principles in your book to reach success. Because everyone wants to know not only the tactics, but the strategy as well. So if you can do that in a unique way, you can definitely charge consulting fees for that. My guy, K.O. So we're almost done with this one. And then obviously you can do the last two. I'm going to jumble them up together. We went over 15 so far, but book marketing, launch consulting, and an author program. So obviously everyone says, like, I don't want to say everyone says, but at some point, every athlete at some point has said they want to write a book or they want to do something along those lines. So if you've done it before, you can help others by showing them the way, kind of creating an accountability program, similar to a mastermind group, but not really. Whereas this high-end consulting and marketing program, also author program, will allow you to kind of give them the way, give them the pathway without kind of holding their hand, but also holding their hand, if that makes sense. And that's a way to make money as well. So I just gave you guys a number of different ways athletes can make money by writing a book. I would recommend doing that. We're definitely going to have there's a couple athletes that have written books. We're going to have a workshop with them coming soon. So if you guys are interested, make sure you guys reach out. We're going to have that. Another follow that you guys should follow is at Ash Cash. He kind of puts it in layman's terms. If you're an athlete and want to write a book and are kind of like overwhelmed or don't have time or feel like it's too long of a process, he breaks it down in a wonderful way to make you understand that writing a book is not that hard. And if worst comes to worst, you can always hire somebody like a celebrity ghostwriter. We have a podcast coming out with a celebrity ghostwriter coming soon, so I'll make sure to tap that in. But yeah, that's it. This week's going to be short. I'm not sure if we're going to be next week. I might be a little bit busy. But with that being said, Frugal Fundamentals, a frugal athlete. We help athletes make money, multiply money, and manage money. So if you have any questions, reach out. Share with a friend. It's going to be repurposed as IGTV, YouTube, and podcast. Catch you guys next week. I think it was good, right? Yeah.